Hello, bonjour, welcome to leçon numéro 8, lesson number 8. If you've not subscribed to my channel, first of all, please subscribe. This is the simplest and the most well-structured French course that you will find for beginners. All your confusions about where to start, what to do, will not be there if you follow this, and you will have a clear path of learning French. I am not a native French speaker. I have learned it following the same things. I understand what kind of challenges learners go through. So please follow this lesson and the course. We are already on lesson number 8. You can, if you've not watched earlier lessons, please go through them as well. Alright, let's begin today's lesson. It's les verbes réguliers. Now, I was speaking in one of my other lessons about the challenges of French. So there are three things. One is the vocabulary, the second one is pronunciation, and the third one is grammar. Everything seems very complicated when you begin learning, and grammar is something that students really struggle with. And what we are going to focus today is making you understand the logic of how things work, understanding how it is built, how the verbs are conjugated is the foundation of understanding the grammar as far as conjugations are concerned. You can go, the conjugations can be found online and they can be learned online, but understanding how they work, it really makes a difference. So that's what I'm going to focus on in this lesson. We will be talking about regular verbs. Now you must be wondering, what do you mean by regular verbs? So there are regular verbs and irregular verbs. Regular verbs are the verbs that follow a pattern of conjugation. So if you have learned conjugation for one regular verb, you can conjugate 95% of other regular verbs. There are always exceptions, remember. But you can conjugate 95% of the regular verbs if you know the conjugation for one verb. That is the meaning of regular verbs. Regular verbs are the verbs that follow a standard pattern in conjugation. Now, what is conjugation? Conjugation means that there is a verb. I will explain in English, which is far more simpler. So, go is a verb, right? It's in its infinitive form, which is the unconjugated form. Now you don't use go in every sentence, right? Sometimes you use goes, sometimes you say going, sometimes you say went, sometimes you say gone. What are these? These are conjugations of the verb which is go. Okay, how? So in English it changes as per the tense and the subject. More or less the same in French. It changes as per the subject of the sentence and the tenses. Today we are talking only about present tense. Okay. Okay, French verbs. Regular verbs are those verbs which follow regular formation rules. It has three categories based on the endings called les terminaisons. Now, what are the terminaisons? Terminaison is the ending. Now, let's take one example. This is one verb which is parler. ER ending will give a sound. The R will not be pronounced like totally. You will hear a sound. Parler. Parler. Now, what is the terminaison here? This is what I have highlighted. ER is terminaison. Finir is the second. So first group of verbs, there are three groups of regular verbs, okay? First, second and third. First group is the verbs that end in ER. Second group is the verbs that end in IR. And third group is the verb that end in RE. This is very important first step to remember. ER, IR, RE. Okay, now what happens next? You have learned about the terminaison, the last two letters of the verb. What happens is you remove it and you replace it with these. These you have to remember, it comes with practice. Now, why there are 6 of them? for our subjects. Remember, je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle. You can go back to the les pronoms sujet chapter, and you can go through them if you want to. So for all of them you have different forms. Okay, for er, these are the terminaisons that come. For ir, these are what you have, and for re, this is what you have. You can take a screenshot or note them down. All right, now we will see how to conjugate one verb, and we have taken the simplest of all, parler, which is which group? First group, er ending, right? We will conjugate it in present tense. Parler means to speak. Now these are the terminaisons. We will remove er and we will replace it with this. Je parle. So what did we do? We removed er and we put e, because for je it's e. For tu it's es, so we put es. For il, elle and on, third person singular, we have e, so we put e. So another way of remember, for je and third person il, elle, on, the conjugation remains the same in all first group of regular verbs. All right. ONS is for nous, EZ is for vous, ENT is for il. Most verbs, when conjugated with vous, will have Z in the end. That's one trick to remember. There can be exceptions. Alright. Je parle à Sophie, I speak to Sophie. Tu parles à Sophie, you speak to Sophie. Il parle à Sophie, elle parle à Sophie, on parle à Sophie. Nous parlons à Sophie, we speak to Sophie. Vous parlez à Sophie, you speak to Sophie. Il parle à Sophie, they speak to Sophie. Now it can be made with elle also. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Take some time to process what I have said, and once you have learned these, it will be very simple to just conjugate any er ending verb. Okay, and let's see what we have next. I have just listed some verbs which follow parler. Most of the regular verbs will be conjugated the same way. You can look in wordreference.com. They have a conjugator as well. You can conjugate the verbs there. Okay, now one very important, ali is a very important and very frequently used verb, which means to go. It is er ending, but it is not a regular verb. It will not follow these conjugations. I just wanted to call that out. Now I have some homework for you. We did first group. Now you have the terminaison for the second and the third group as well, so you have to conjugate it, and if you can, put it in the comments. And I will check. All right, that's all for this lesson. We will be learning about some exceptions and some other forms of verbs, so we'll continue the topic of verb in the next lesson as well. Bon courage, good luck for your French learning journey. Au revoir, ciao ciao.